What is up, YouTube? It is good to see everybody jumping into the chat room so quickly. If you haven't, of course, give the damn video a like. Okay, let me tell you, first off, it feels good to be sitting in this chair, boy. Let me tell you, it feels good to be home. All right. Anyway, so let me give you a rundown a little bit of what's went down with me for the last few days. I know some of you have been watching, okay, but for the people that haven't been watching, so I've been out on this missing case, right, of the girl you see up here. I go out, of course. Let me give you the rundown of it. So it's storming really bad here in Virginia. So I'm kind of waiting to leave, and it's getting kind of late, and it's storming really bad because we got them hurricanes, stirring around out there. So I didn't end up leaving till late. So I left here maybe, I know, roughly around 10 p.m. All right. Now I'm not familiar with the Lynchburg, Virginia area. Never been there. I live on the coast of Virginia, right on the beach line. So there's a lot of these northern parts of Virginia that I've never been to, up in the mountains and different stuff like that. So this is really like the foothills of the mountains, the very beginning of the mountains. So I leave that night. It is storming its ass off. So it takes me a little longer to get to Lynchburg than I thought it would. Because one, Virginia is a big ass state. Okay. You can be here in Virginia and you can be in this part of Virginia, and you might as well be in South Carolina somewhere. It's that damn big. It's a good hike, especially when it's storming, traffic driving slow. So I get there. Okay. I'm tired as shit when I get there. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I can't find my hotel. Okay. So at this point, I'm like, shit. I'm the GPS is driving me in circles. It's driving me all in some shit that looks like a Saw movie, like you might come up missing, right? I'm thinking, I'm going out here looking for this missing girl, and I'm going to come up missing. All right. So finally, I see like some hotel, it's a Econo Lodge or something like that. I'm like, hell with it. I'm staying here tonight, right? So I stop at this hotel, and time I get in there, it's literally 4:15 in the morning. Okay. So the search for the young lady starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, starts at 9. So you got to be out there, meet up with everybody. So you got to be there a little early. It's already 4:15, 4:30 in the morning when I'm getting into the hotel room. All right. So I crash out. I sleep for about 3 good hours. Solid though. I slept pretty solid. I didn't feel too bad. I get up, I grab my stuff, I'm getting everything together. I'm walking out the hotel, and all of a sudden there's fucking every police car you can think of is shooting up into the hotel. And I'm like, this is pretty crazy, right? I wonder what's going on. So as I'm getting, in the car, I see the cops pointing their guns, hiding behind the walls, and things like this. Now I have my body camera on, right? I already have the GoPro on and everything. But what I didn't realize was I had a dead battery in it. So I tried to record the police, like the raid that they were doing on the hotel. But as I walked out, they didn't say nothing to me, nothing. They just ran by me. So apparently they were looking for a certain person. I'm thinking, because I don't really know what happened, because I got in the car and carried my ass, right? I was like, somebody's going to jail. All right. So I go meet up with the dad, and he tells me a little bit about himself and a little about what's going on with his daughter, and her missing, and she wouldn't do these things, and he's actually from Tennessee, so he's not as there much as he should be, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's his daughter, but he lives in a different state. And so he's a little out of the loop, but he knows his daughter, and he says this is unusual. So the first place we go search is her house. We go to her house where she was living, where she came up missing on Gate Street. Okay. Now she was renting a room or a part of a house from this little old lady, a little old grumpy lady too. She's a little old grumpy lady. And she came out there talking about, it was okay if we searched, but she didn't want a bunch of strangers on her property searching. But you could actually search her property pretty quick. It was, the backyard, but it led to the ditch that we were all out there searching. So if you've seen it on the news, all the people were out there searching this big ditch line. Okay. And it's set next to a cemetery. So I fly the drone over the first part of the cemetery, over the ditch line, and this ditch line goes back for a good mile, right? But the trees were so overgrown, once I got above it, I couldn't see down into the woods whatsoever. I could see all around the open areas, and I could say, well, she ain't over here, she ain't over there, but I couldn't see into the wood line. It was so overgrown. So it was really thick. This time of year, it's like a jungle, and it was so humid. So me and the dad decided, okay, well, we're going to go down into the ditch and walk this ditch line, which goes, let me tell you, it goes for a ways with sticker bushes. It's just rocks, water, mud puddles. Look, let me tell you, the gnats were so unbelievably bad. I must have ate 20,000 gnats. I ain't going to lie. I wasn't even hungry while I was there. It was that many bugs just literally flying into my mouth. Okay. They're just buzz. I mean, you just can't even get them away from you. You can swing at them and they don't go anywhere. They just with you, And now I know how Pigpen felt from damn Charlie Brown. Anybody watch Charlie Brown? Remember Pigpen? He always had them damn bugs flying around him. That's what I felt like. Like it just wouldn't stop, right? So in this, you were searching the woods, and I'm getting to know the dad a little bit. And this is, maybe that's the bad part, because I felt so bad about, the ending of this. It's because, I got to know this dude because we were out there searching together for hours, just me and him in the woods. And I felt so bad. This man, you can tell that he had been out searching the woods prior to me being there. Okay. His arms, he was blood all over his arms. I mean, from like sticker bushes and him being caught up on things in the woods and things. See, I knew it was hot, but I wore a long sleeve shirt, one ticks, sticker bushes. I've been out there enough to know, hey, I'm going to be a little tiny bit hotter. Okay. But you see, I'm not bleeding. I'm not all tore up. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I went through all these same type of sticker bushes. It got me in my legs a little bit, because sometimes I get caught up on them. I just rip past it and it would get me a little bit through the pants. But I just felt so bad for him again. You could tell, I mean, he was just covered in scratches and bites, and it poor guy, man. I would never want to experience anything like that in my life. And there wasn't no quit in him whatsoever. He was going to search. So we searched this whole ditch line, and we were out there good, I don't know, maybe a couple hours in this one area with the cemetery, all that. And me and the dad was talking, and I was like, he was saying there was 32 acres and the guy had been seen coming out the woods. And I was thinking to myself, why are we here? If they seen this dude coming out some woods, why don't we search the woods that he was coming out of? And the dad was like, all right, let's do that. So we got back into my car. We drove to those woods. The search party people followed us. And then we all began to search the area where you seen on the news. Okay. Which is the area where they got Scaremare. It's a haunted building that they use at Halloween time. And it's like adjacent to an old ran down baseball field and surrounded by woods. Now, if he was going to hide a body, this looked like a good place to do it. Okay. So we go into this place, and by this point, there's probably 20 of us out there searching these woods. But what people did is they broke up into different little groups. Okay. So it was me and the dad. There were some other people, the cousin and some other people. And somehow me and the dad, we go into the woods together. And I don't know where he went. We kind of branch off. I was looking this way. He was looking this way. And somewhere in this big thing of woods, me and the dad got separated. Okay. So Not a big deal. You know, I ain't scared of being, I walk through the woods, but you see me in Tennessee, I'm all in the wood, dangerous ass places all the time by myself. I'm stupid, so I ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just one of those people, I guess I don't think bad shit can happen to me. So at this point, Dolly, I ain't too much worried about your private property. The building, I hopped the fence to. Okay. Because there's all these things to hide shit in and all behind this building. So to get back there, I got to duck under a fence, jump over a fence, do whatever I got to do to get back there to search this private property that belongs to somebody else. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if the police roll up on me, they know we all out here searching for a missing girl. What they going to do? Right? They ain't going to put me in jail over jumping a fence and looking for a missing girl. I don't think that anyway. So, me, I'm just doing it anyway. As long as there ain't no pit bulls or nothing like that, I'm going to go look. And if you get mad, F you. That's how I look at it. I mean, what's the worst? Misdemeanor trespassing. It's just a trespassing charge. So I'm all back there. And this will come into play in a little while, this building that I'm back there searching. And because I think the police were trying to misdirect people so they could do what they needed to do and not have a big crowd of people around once they discovered some things. So while I'm behind this building, like I said, I done lost the dad. I don't know where he's at. He's off on his own, doing his own thing, I get a call. Okay. And it's like, Jimmy, he is out there. The husband, the baby daddy, the one that killed the girl, he's out there with y'all. And I'm like, what? And she's like, get to the car. Right. So I'm like, so I'm coming to the car. The dad's coming to the car and he's like, yeah, we need to roll. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on because I've been searching. Okay. I've been behind the building and I got a lot of this on body cam too, where I'm like jumping the fences and different things of that nature. I ain't really watched all of it yet. From the drone footage to the body cam footages of stuff of the search. So I get in the car with the dad and he was just like, yeah, I just ran into him. And I guess they had gotten into a little altercation and he wanted to get out of there. Okay. Now it wasn't like I got in a fight. It was just a verbal, maybe he grabbed him or something. It wasn't nothing like major, but one, this dude is a killer. All right. This dude he's sitting in jail right now for murder. And the community is out there in front of his house and he is a very dangerous person. When I heard the call that he's there, it was more like, oh shit, let me go get my vest and shit on, get suited up for whatever may happen, because I don't know if this dude's going to come out there and start shooting people. You know what I'm saying? He's already because I looked at his criminal record before I went and he's facing 10, 15 years in prison before this. Okay. Every picture he has guns, drugs, money, and stuff like this. I'm thinking, this don't look like a good person. Now I'm out here in the woods, you done murdered somebody I don't want to get shot by this guy, So my thing is this, I try to stay protected. I keep a vest and things like that. They gonna say what else, but I try to stay safe. But at that time, it's like when I almost stepped on that snake and didn't have my snake boots on. I got the shit. I just don't never have it on me when I need it, kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm belling up out these woods with a little bit of urgency, So I get the dad back. Everything is calming down. The searchers are still searching, but I got the dad out of Dodge. So I had to leave the search at that point to get the dad up out of there. Okay. You don't want the dad getting in trouble. You don't want him going to jail. You don't want him trying to kill this dude. Okay. Because look, I'm a father under the same circumstances. I even told Jim this when I was like, you're a better dude than me, man. Because I could not have controlled myself in a situation like that, And he did, for the most part. He did. And, he told me some of the things he said to him. And he told Jim, and he told Jim, he said, "Man, I've been looking for my wife." And Jim told him, said, "Call her your wife again," because Jim was up in his face. And he's mad that this man is calling his daughter his wife. And Jim already knew. When we and Jim were talking in the woods, he said, "Look, man, the detectives told me, man, it ain't good. They looking for a body. He said there's more information. So there's some, he knew then, he said, there's some things right now I can't tell you. He said there's warrants being served today, and there is another search location, another one." And he told me the things, and he said, "And there's more I know, but I can't really say." So from the point I get him to the house, okay, and I sit there, I talk with the family, try to feel things out a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm going to run back to the hotel. So I shoot to the hotel, take a shower, change. Soon as I step out the shower, the phone rings, and they say, "The police are where you at," and they got everything crime scene taped off. We don't know what's going on. Okay. They may have found something. All right. So instantly I jump back in the car. All right. So I jump back in the car. I'm about 8 miles from the scene. So it don't take me long to get there. I'm right there. So I get out, and everybody's gathered at the crime scene tape. You can see the ditches and things. This is where I think a little bit of misdirection. Police are sneaky. The police are sneaky. I think there's a little bit of some misdirection. They had some information, and there were some things there, but I don't think she was there. I'm not even quite positive if she was in the ditch right there. From my understanding, she was dumped in another county. But the phone was pinging to his car, and while we was out there, they pulled a glove out. But at this point, I don't know that yet. Okay, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. So as I'm coming up, the cousins out there, some of the other families out there, and they don't know right yet what's going on. There's no confirmation that she's deceased at this point. Okay. So they're like, "Dolly, you got the drone, fly the drone over and see what's over there." Because no, you couldn't go because they had it blocked off. And this was the family asking, see what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right. So I went to go get the drone. Okay. Because I had the drone in the car. And when I went to go get the drone, they came up and told the cousin she was deceased and that they had her body. Now, they didn't say, when they said that, they said it at this location that's crime scene taped off, right? And they're all over there, so you're thinking she's there. But the only thing I've seen them pull out at that area, unless I missed it, was a glove. And even in the live, you guys will hear me say, they just pulled a glove out the ditch. They were taking pictures of it. They pulled a glove out of a different part of the ditch. They were in two different parts of the ditch. And like, I didn't see the coroner out there. Now, there were some rumors that she was in the vehicle, in the trunk of the car. There was a whole bunch of things going on. So from there, the family finds out she's deceased. All right. So the prayer gathering, it had more of a funeral vibe to it to me. Just sad, super sad. Because a prayer gathering, that's a hopeful thing. You got hope that she's out there. She may be injured, but she's alive, kind of thing. This was, she's gone, kind of goodbye kind of service. And sad. I mean, but you seen the video. There were so many people in that community came out to support the family and things of that nature. And of course, he was arrested. He's charged with, I looked up his charges. He's been charged with second-degree murder. All right. And I'm glad I didn't bump into this guy. Honestly, I'm glad I was in the woods. One, I don't need to be around that type of stuff anyway. That could have easily turned into another Georgia situation. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. We don't want that. I might snap. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father. First and foremost, I'm a dad. and just, I don't know. I felt so bad for Jim, and his head was so far out there, right? His mind was everywhere. I told him when I first met him, I said, Dolly on the internet, but it should be easy to remember my name. It's the same as you. I'm nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't remember my name, but you got to remember though, his mind is everywhere, and I don't blame him for not remembering my name. And our names are the same. You know, it's just imagine going through that. I don't even know where to begin. And you really see a Karen parent, like, I hate to throw Don and Candace Wells under the bus right now, okay? And this dude's from Tennessee. He's from their area at that. This man, like I said, had scratches, cuts all up and down his arms. I can imagine his legs. Hunting through the woods for his grown daughter, okay? I don't see a whole lot of Don Wells in the woods with scratches on him. He didn't one time when I was hanging out with Don Wells go, hey, man, you want to go into the holler and look for my daughter? Jim was ready to go. All right, you ready? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. He was ready. It wasn't nowhere, nothing that was like, I was worried about him, him getting hurt in the woods more than me. I was just keep an eye on him, because one, his mind is all over the place at that time. Me, I'm more focused on looking and making sure he's okay, because my mind ain't a million places. And I can just imagine this, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't even remember my name, and I just told you it's the same, you know what I'm saying? So that's hard. That is a hard one to take right there, So basically after that, I went to the service. After the service, I was exhausted. Okay. So I go back to the hotel room, got me some sleep, of course. And then I drove straight back, which to drive back today, I walked outside the hotel room and it was really nasty. I was thinking, man, I'm going to have to drive back in the same shit I drove here in. But as I drove about 15 minutes up the road, it cleared up. Skies turned, sun came out, smooth sailing all the way home. Okay. So I just really had a chance because when I got home, the first thing I did is I walked in here, climbed in my bed, collapsed, and slept for 8 straight hours. I was exhausted. I was totally 100% exhausted when I got back. So I've been asleep pretty much all day. I really had a chance to even watch the news reports from it, watch any of the video footage that I shot out there. Nothing. The outcome of this was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I would rather the family know sooner, because this girl had been missing at that point 7 days, than to be months and months down the road, and the family not have no clue. And this dude still be walking the streets because he would eventually hurt somebody else. He was going to go to prison anyway, like I said, for the gun charges. He had strangled her. He had strangled her unconscious, okay? And she had fell, and the baby hit its head. That's why CPS was involved, right? And that's why he couldn't be around the baby. And I don't know, sad story. I hope this man never sees the day. All right, call it in. Dolly. Okay. I hope that wasn't a collect call from the Lynchburg City Jail, okay? Because that's where that homeboy's sitting tonight, in Natsburg, okay? You did good helping her father being yeah, I mean, I'm glad he didn't do nothing stupid. And I just wish his daughter, hadn't have met that crazy ass dude, right? And the whole thing is he's already playing crazy already. Okay. I don't want to talk bad about his family, But his family's already posting stuff like they victims too. They victims. I don't think y'all victims. I hate to say that. You know, his mother's posting she's a victim. That she has a 22-year-old son that has mental problems. Okay, but he wasn't crazy before. You know, he didn't have mental problems before. I mean, he has plenty of gun and drug charges, and yeah, and to say that that they're victims, I was like, what? I'm like, lady, I bet you ain't sitting around crying like that other family. You know, that's just that's people playing victim. Like, yeah, you lose your son because he's a monster. You ain't lose your son because somebody took him from you. You know, he made that decisions, and then he was so crazy he tried to cover it up. He lied. He was posting things like he was searching for his wife. I don't think his family's victims. Not even to say some stupid shit like that. That's just crazy. Let me ask the chat. There's 500 in your room. How many people think his mother is a victim? She said that her family is victims too. They must be a victim of some other crime, but I don't think they're a victim of this one. Because you know what they got? They still got their son and they still got their grandson. Okay. Why did she go near him if she strangled him? Look, there's no positivity. There's no. Dolly. Hello.
Dolly?
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to call into your show tonight. Shannon, I met you yesterday.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, I wanted to call you because I wanted to tell you, just in case you got any messages or anything. I wasn't sure if you were going to go live tonight, and I had gone on a chat on another show that I just wanted to clear the air about a couple of things that had happened yesterday, and I wanted to just catch up with you.
Okay.
Um, so I wanted to tell you first and foremost that I absolutely am so grateful for your dedication and that you came. And it was so nice to meet you. I am just such a fan of yours. And you come with a smile, and you bring your equipment, and the drones were so helpful, and you have such a way about you. And I just felt like the camaraderie you had with the dad probably did like wonders for him. I could tell just like in the way that he was with you that he really needed
I mean,
that.
we got daughters around the same age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, I just think with certain people there's just a chemistry sometimes, and not, just not everybody works together. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I could tell when you were around that like he just did better. And I just think that you were the person, like you were the one for the job, right? Like, and I just wanted you to know that I appreciated you for that.
Thank you. Thank
And but one of the things that I had said earlier that just was really important to me was transparency. And just that, one of the things that upset me a little bit is that I think it's really important for people to understand that sometimes when things like this happen, the town is still left grieving. And, it's really nice when people come help, but then they get to leave.
you. Yeah.
And we still have a lot of things going on here. And I wanted to let you know that I did go back and watch some of the videos, because I know it can be kind of crazy on YouTube, and people will kind of say, well, you need to go back and watch this and make sure you know what you're talking about and all that. And I get that, and that's true, but I wasn't sure about some of the things that were said yesterday about the confrontation, and we don't really need to get into that. I think you
Yeah.
and I both know what happened, but I do want to let you know that I was the only other one present for that. And that was an extremely difficult thing to be present for. I want to let you know that I'm having a hard time with that because
Yeah,
I
he
really
was. He told me you was with him.
I was, and I really wanted to protect him. I told both of them. I said, "This is not the way to do this, and I don't want anybody else to get hurt." And I was glad you weren't there, just for the reason you said. I didn't want anybody else to, have to be put in that position. And I just, it was fine. It ended up fine, but I didn't want to see anybody else get hurt. And it was just such an emotional like
So
situation. And
he was in the car
um,
across from the woods, correct?
who?
Michael.
Um, No, we were walking and we saw him,
Yeah,
and that was that.
uh-huh. Okay.
So, but I won't, maybe you and I can chat privately sometime. I
Yeah.
don't want to give too much information, but I just wanted to let you know that, I mean, everything was fine and everything ended up working out fine, but it was just a bit of a difficult situation and it's okay. But I just want to let you know that I know there was a period of time you weren't sure what happened, but we just ended up branching off from you guys and going and looking. And I agree with you so much. He is amazing. Like he was just full throttle. Like he would go through like the branches in the woods. We went through buses and sheds. And I was also trying to get people to understand like it's not like you see on TV when your boots on the ground. Like, when you go through like an empty bus, there were some homeless people living in the buses, or when you go through a dark shed with like cobwebs in it, and and you think about the families, they don't know what they're going to see. Like it's just a very, very surreal feeling to be out there.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot of emotions in the air, just a lot of different emotions, and I don't know, it's just like I was it took every bit of energy, everything I had. Like I was exhausted when I got.
I know you were. I thought I was so worried about you even driving there, and I know we didn't really get to spend a lot of time together, but I wanted to be a big person, and I wanted to call your show and let you know that I am just not a person that bashes anybody, and I absolutely adore you, and I love your channel, and it certainly wasn't about that, but I just wanted to make sure people also knew that. I know sometimes on YouTube also people like, things can get sensationalized, and there were things said like, oh, her body's here in this bitch and that kind of stuff. And, I wanted to let people know that was not the case. She
Yeah,
was unfortunately found on a mountain somewhere else. And,
yeah, a
I
county
like to,
over. The misdirection of the police, though. The police
yeah,
police made it seem like she was in that ditch.
yeah. And they have, I guess they have a way of doing what they need to do. And, and I don't want to cross any lines
Yeah,
for, what they need to do, but I just, I just think sometimes I noticed that I was watching your lives, and you're so spunky and good. But I watched yours, and then I also went back and watched our local journalist, and I noticed that he said, we're not 100% sure what this is here, but there's crime scene tape here. And I just thought, I think there's a reason, like, for sometimes when we say things like, we really need to be so careful about saying we're just not 100% sure. But
yeah.
I wanted to let you know I really appreciated, and this is what some of your fans are so cute. They're so sweet. They were saying he's so good about clarifying things, and you are. And I wanted to let you know that they said that, and you did tonight. I really appreciated you like saying that you saw a glove and all this. There's a lot. Just appreciate you, and there was nothing bad. I wasn't saying anything bad, but and maybe we can talk sometime because I
Okay.
know that we were in the same small group yesterday, and I really enjoyed being in the group with you, and there might be some information that you might want that I have, but like I said, this isn't the place for it,
All
but
right.
yes, I just wanted to thank you so
All right.
much
You're
and just let
welcome.
you know that.
It's, it's
Okay.
nice meeting you. I'll talk to you next time.
Okay, sounds great. You have a great evening. Okay.
All right. Peace.
All right, bye.
Yeah, guys, when we're live and we're in the middle of that, information is coming like this. You know what I'm saying? We only know what is going on in the situation, right? Like, hold on a second. Let me explain this a little bit. Like, as I came on here live, I was saying she was in a different county, that they pulled a glove out the ditch. These are things that I know now. Okay. But at the time, we're running live. It's like cops here, they're telling you she's dead. They got it roped off. They're in the ditches. What are you thinking? Everybody out there's thinking she's right there. But see, that is how misinformation can be spread. But that's not knowing, right? If we can't physically go look in the ditch, we don't know. So yeah, there was some things that were said out there that were wrong, but little details were wrong, but the facts still remain the same. The girl was deceased. She was laying somewhere. She just wasn't in that spot. I don't know why the cops made such a big deal over that area. And they were trying to draw people away from that area. But they have their own ways of investigating and trying to keep the crowd away from what's going on, I guess, you know. But he definitely did take this young lady's life. We do know that is a fact. He is sitting in jail tonight. Second-degree murder and disposal of a body. Okay. And I don't understand the second-degree murder. I guess there's no premeditation in it. But if you go back and you look at his Facebook post, it's like, yo, I want my baby something, something. I can't remember exactly for word, but he was saying, you know, he missed his kid. He wanted his kid. To me, that's motive. All right. That means you thought about killing this lady. Now, I don't know what searches he got on his internet or anything like that, but the police were, you know, they had her phone. He had her phone. He's pretty much done. He's done. It's a wrap. And it's just going to take a lot of time for that family to try to heal some of them scars that that boy left on them. And like I said, them other people, they're not victims. You know, you didn't lose your son. You'll be able to go visit him in the prison. He'll be able to write. He'll be able to call home. Those things. That girl won't never be able to talk to her dad. She won't never be able to talk to her mom. Her son will grow up not knowing his mother. And that's even worse, you know? Awful. Yeah, definitely. You know, so that was, you know, my experience. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And Shannon, yeah, I did get to meet Shannon out there. She was really nice and she's a trooper. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, what's up, Map?
Matt.
Map.
Hey, man. You got a big heart, man.
It was a tough one. That was an emotional roller coaster there, boy. I think that's why it drained my energy so bad. I think it drained my emotionally drained my energy. I don't think physically. I mean, it was hot and you know, I was in ditches and crawling through shit and all kinds of stuff, but I think just emotionally it drained me.
Yeah, you got a big heart, man. You're a good dude.
So I try. I mean, I ain't no saint. You know what I'm saying? I still don't think I'm getting into heaven. I better work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's getting me.
We all got to work a little bit harder.
You know, so I'm just trying to get my pass.
Well, prayers to you, prayers to the family.
Yeah.
No victims on the other side.
Hey, there ain't no victims on the other side. If you're going to say something stupid, don't say nothing. You know, I don't want to say nothing bad about that boy's family, but if you wasn't mental before this, you ain't mental now. And they definitely ain't victims. You know,
right?
There's only one family that's a victims in this, and that's her family.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just wanted to call and tell you I love you, brother.
Thank you, ma'am. You know the good thing about this, and I mean, you just got to take some good out of it, is he did not hurt that baby.
That's a good thing.
You know, I still think he deserves to die in prison, but at least he didn't hurt that baby.
Yeah.
Brutally. But you know me, I'm an eye for eye kind of person. You do these monstrous things in this world, you deserve what you got coming to you.
I'm an eye for an eye person too, and the prosecutors in this country are going to hell.
You know, my belief is they should chain him to a pole and let Jim go in a room with him. That's it. And he decides the man's fate. Let the family decide that man's fate. If they're holy rollers and they say, look, we want to forgive this man, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But
it's like in the old days,
Yeah,
We took care of our own.
and look, I I even talked about it to the family about this. Is Virginia and the death penalty? We've took the death penalty off the table. Okay, so this man will not be executed in the state of Virginia, and to me, the death penalty, like, we can use that a lot of ways. Like, they didn't know where she was at. They could have been like, "Look, we're gonna give you death penalty." For in a little bit.
Oh,
All right,
there you are.
there I am. All right, Mab. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bro.
All right, peace. So there's really, like, I think the death penalty should be in every state in this country. You kill somebody, I don't care where the hell you at, you should be executed. So you can kill somebody here, not get executed. Kill somebody in Texas, get executed. Ain't this United States of America? Ain't it one place? Okay, that law should be across the board. You take somebody's life, you lose your life. It shouldn't be 20 years from now. Okay, it should be a lot swifter than that. We need to speed that process with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes forever to actually execute somebody in this country when they get the death penalty. And then people that do the most effed up crimes in the world, they get little tiny jail sentences, little prison time. Like the story we talked about the other night about the dude that had murdered a 6-year-old boy and threw him in a dumpster. And then he went off. He did 14 years in prison. Then he went off and killed a roommate and strangled somebody else. I was thinking, what the hell is this man ever doing out of prison? Just like this dude shouldn't have been out on bail. And here's the thing. If he hadn't have been out on probation, not on bail, this young lady be alive right here today. Okay? To me, that's the system failing once again. They failed this girl. This man shouldn't have been on he shouldn't have had a bond on the violent gun charges of a convicted felon with a gun. Okay? He shouldn't have had a bond. He shouldn't even been out of jail to take this young lady's life. Dolly.
Hello?
Hello.
He's so goofy.
What's up?
So what happened? I know you were up there because I saw you. Your thing. You were in Lynchburg. You called it Natburg.
Natburg.
Good Lord.
You got gnats up there where you at too?
Heck no, we don't have them that bad. I couldn't stand it that bad. No.
Oh my God. It was like thousands of them just hovering around my head everywhere I went.
Really?
I'm talking about you could walk in a convenience store and they were like that. I ain't even just talking about in the woods. I'm talking about everywhere.
Because the part of Lynchburg where Liberty's at, it's not that bad. Where the college is at, it's not bad.
I don't know.
It must have just been that.
Bad.
It must have been that area.
If you eat gnats, it ain't bad.
I'm just saying it was that area because where Liberty's at, the college, it's not bad. It's a nice college. It's
You know what it
beautiful
reminded me
campus.
of? You ever remember Dumb and Dumber when they're on a little moped
Oh yeah.
and they had all the bugs in their teeth?
Ooh, yeah, dude, you're so crazy.
That's what it reminded me of.
I know. I kept seeing you wiping off your face. I said, ooh.
I mean, I was wiping like bugs up my eyeballs. It was bad. I was like, there's so many gnats, like so many.
Right. It was so humid, though. I think maybe that had a lot to do with it, too. I don't know.
I know. When I got up into the woods, it was literally being in the jungle.
Ooh.
It was just swamp wet. I was soaked.
It must have been something of that landscaping in that area over there because, like I said, I went to Lynchburg about last week and it wasn't that bad.
All right.
I was near Liberty College, the college, and I went.
Is that where they had the big? What is that? The big LU, and it's on the side of the mountain, and it lights up at night.
Yep.
That's
it's gorgeous.
Cool.
Yep.
That's pretty cool looking.
It's a beautiful campus. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, I meant to take a picture of that for y'all people, but I forgot. I was looking at it. I was like, it ain't as cool as the ball in Vegas, but it's pretty cool to look at, you know?
Yeah. You're so crazy. So exactly what happened? Did the boyfriend just kill her for no reason?
What reason is a good reason to kill somebody?
There is no reason. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
reason
There
did he
ain't
have?
no reason. He killed her for no reason. There ain't no reason in the world to kill anybody.
Yeah, but a lot of these young ones, Dolly, he was afraid she could take him for child support. I guarantee you.
Well, my thought is this. He was about to go to prison. He knew that girl wasn't sticking around for the next 10, 15 years. And he's a monster, and he killed her.
But there's no reason to kill her.
Well, I can't have you. Nobody can have you. When I read this case about missing the kid, to me, when it says I want to see my baby, to me it reads like I want to see this girl. He didn't care about that baby because he handed that baby right over to the mother. He cared about seeing this girl. He cared about that. And he was mad that she didn't want to be with him no more. And he was going to prison and he was going to kill her. That's it. Thug mentality. I can't have you. Nobody have you.
So
I'm leaving. You leaving too. I know that sounds terrible, but I think that's what was going on in this young man's mind.
Well, he can get what's coming to him in prison.
Yeah, they say that. Everybody that goes to prison, they say that. I see people get out of prison, they don't look like they got what was coming to them.
Well, that's true too, but I hope he don't get out.
I mean, I hear it so much. He'll get what he's coming to him in prison. Then he gets out and he done gained 30 pounds. And, maybe they did get what they got and they healed up from it. But I don't think what people are getting is good enough. They didn't get it from the right person. I think some of these people should be sent to fucking Guantanamo Bay. If we can't torture people in America, let's send them somewhere we can.
Well, it used to be where they got what they got way back in the day. You did something, you got it.
Yeah, now it ain't like that no more, though.
And Virginia used to be a lot stricter. They're not strict anymore.
Virginia used to be bad. You see the riots in Virginian prisons and things like that. Virginia used to have some of the worst prison systems. Now it's kumbaya and they pat you on the ass and give you a job.
I know it.
It's terrible.
Education.
I know. Look at Leilani. Like these motherfuckers are coming out of prison smarter than me.
What do you mean looking like Leilani? What is she doing?
I mean, she just got her GED. She a baby killer. What she need a GED for?
That's what I don't understand. The kids out here don't get a GED, but she get one in prison? Come on.
In jail. She ain't even in prison. She's in jail.
Oh, that's right. She ain't made it to prison yet.
Yeah, she ain't went to court. You can't put people in prison before they go to court.
If that girl gets away with it too, that's a sad situation too.
Look, I'm thinking I'm going to be kicking shit when she goes to court. I already know that.
You're going to be... It's so great.
It's going to make me mad. I just already know it's going to make me mad. I just know.
Well, it would make me mad.
She's going to prison. She just ain't going to get what we hoping she's going to get. And that's going to make me kick shit. I just know it.
It's because they can't prove how he passed away because it was too messed up.
I know. And that's what's so messed up about it. That ain't fair.
And she knew that.
That ain't fair.
She knew that.
So you can kill somebody so bad that you can't tell how I killed you. And that is that helps me. I just don't, it's so brutal that it helps her.
Well, it helps her because she knew what she was doing. She knew that would help her.
It's crazy.
She knew all along.
Yeah. She's going to get some prison time, but she ain't getting the rest of her life from prison. And I'm going to snap that day and start kicking shit and throwing stuff because I just don't think it's fair.
It's not fair, but we can't change the stupid system.
I know that. I've seen many of people walk that I'm like, I can't believe this.
Just like that. And Corey's dad got out. I don't think he should have got out.
He walking around living his best life right now. Ain't even nobody sweating him.
See?
The news don't even cover him.
But what lessons does it teach people to go out and do stuff like this because they know they're going to get away with it?
I don't know. He won't get the death penalty. Nobody around here can kill anybody. You ain't dying.
I know.
That is the worst part of it. That shit needs to change. I don't know how I'll go about changing that shit, but however it went from killing people that kill people to not killing people to kill people, I don't know who made that decision. But it changed. Somebody needs to be voted out of office. Let's get somebody back in here that's into justice. I'm about to run for governor of Virginia.
You go for governor of Virginia.
We will get that fast track.
You want us to campaign? You want us to campaign for you?
With past Texas and executions, I can tell you that. I'll be like, line them up. Line them up.
Line them up. So with this young lady that just passed, who's got her daughter, 5-month-old daughter?
CPS right now has the daughter.
See, that's bad too. 5 months old.
The mother of Avril is applying for custody and has a court hearing, I think, coming up for her. So her mother is going to try to get her, the grandmother.
Well, I'm sure she'll get her. I'm sure she'll get her.
Yeah,
but that's sad for a newborn and her mom was gone. Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah,
you know,
like wow. I mean, I don't know what was going through this person's head to do something like this. And once you do it, your life is over. His life's over. So this kid, you know, it grows up without a mom and dad because his dad's an idiot.
Well, you know, I saw the area you were driving in. It didn't look so great.
No, when I was walking through it didn't seem so great either. Some parts of it. It looked a little crackish.
I know, and I've never seen a part of Lynchburg like that. I said, where in the crap is he at in Lynchburg? I ain't never seen that part.
I was on the back roads of Lynchburg. When I went walking around, that shit was like some, I've seen some udders and all kind of shit out there. I just, titties hanging out and.
Oh, gross, Dolly.
It was like, I walked past a couple trap houses. I ain't lying.
You know what? You lucky you get your head shot off.
Yeah, who's gonna shoot you with all them police around?
You'd be surprised.
I know. I was still a little worried. I was like, yeah, this shit looks a little rough over here. Even with the police. Police might.
They don't care. I'm surprised they will shoot at the police. Anyway, but also you said you were in the.
I think the community itself was all together on it. You know, the dude. You know, everybody was in shock. I think.
But you said her dad came across the boy in the woods.
I guess outside of the woods. Me and the dad had split up in the woods. We were walking together, but somewhere in it, we got like.
You got lost.
Yeah, like naturally lost. Like I didn't tend to lose them, so somehow I lost them because you know I'm like I'll be looking under stuff, going behind things, and somewhere in the of that I looked back and he was gone, and I just kept searching, you know, and then I jumped some fences and I went up into behind these buildings, and yeah, and then I got the call that the dude was out there. I didn't know where he was at. I just knew he was out there. He could possibly be armed, you know. So then it's like, okay, let me get back to my car because I wasn't prepared for nothing like this. And then I got all my stuff in my car. You know what I'm saying? So it's get back to the car at that point. So, yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like I was. I mean, I wasn't really scared, you know, but I don't want to get hurt either. I don't know. I knew the dude was dangerous, right? When I was driving up there, I knew he was dangerous. I had his criminal record. I had his court dates. I had his pictures. I had all his posts on Facebook. I had them all printed out. So as I stopped, when I was sitting in the hotel, I was reading on them and shit. I knew how dangerous the guy was. And he's young. And that's what makes him even more dangerous because these young kids are crazy. They will kill you for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Because they ain't got no conscience.
I know. Like, just in the younger generations, they're scary. They're more dangerous and dangerous. And I know that. I know the younger generation of people. I know the type of music they into. I know the lifestyles they're into. And I knew he was dangerous. And that's what my worry, that the dad would get hurt. you know, that this dude, the dad confronts him. This dude might pull out a gun, start shooting people. He's done, you know, I was pretty sure that he had done hurt the daughter, you know, in my mind. So, and I knew he's facing all these gun charges. For in every picture, he either has a handgun or an assault rifle. And I'm thinking, not only do the guns, he got damn guns that shoot right through the bulletproof vest I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? So, dangerous kid. Thank God he's off the streets.
Then why was that young girl with him?
I don't know. Why is any young girl with any knucklehead just.
Well,
Maybe
you ain't
she
going
didn't
to
know.
with these buds.
Well, you know, once you in that relationship and yeah, she was trapped. You know, she was trapped at that point. How do you know who's going to kill you and who ain't going to kill you? She probably didn't know. She just thought, hey, this is a normal argument with my boyfriend, and that's, you know, and then things happen. But I don't think she went into it knowing, hey, this dude's going to kill me.
That's
And
true, but I
you
have
know, usually
20.
in abusive relationships, most of the time the dude starts off nice, you know, or the woman starts off nice, and then it slowly progresses to an abusive relationship. Usually most relationships start out great, even with your abuser. Right? I've been with abusive ass ladies, and all the relationships started out great. Then it ended up lying, cussing, screaming, throwing shit. So, I mean, it always starts off good. Don't always end good.
Well, you're trying to impress somebody. Of course, it's going to start off good.
That's what I'm saying. And maybe he put on a good act, and he's a damn psycho.
Yeah. Well, I have two 20-year-old twins, and one of them is a girl. And I guarantee you, if one of them put a hand on my nose, he would have made it to the prison. I promise you, he'd have been 10 feet under.
That's what I was worried about too. What if the dad does something bad to him? You know, you have to take all that in my mind. I'm thinking, what if he does something to the dad? What if the dad does something to him? You know, and I didn't know where they were at. I was in the middle of the woods when I got the call. It was like, yo, he's out there, and I didn't know the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if he's out there fighting with the dad, if he was out there killing people, if he was out running around the woods like Jason Voorhees. I didn't know. I just knew he was there. Okay. And then I was like, okay, let me get back to the car. So, and then from that point, like I said, I go back to the vehicle.
Right. I'm just saying, the dad is a stronger person than me, because I guarantee you, he wouldn't walk out of those woods.
I told the dad the same thing when we were in the car when I was getting him out there.
Nope.
I looked right over at him. I said, Jim, you a better dude than me. I'd be going to prison right now.
I probably would too. I'm sorry to say, because I couldn't live with my daughter. If I was losing my daughter, I wouldn't want to be around anyway.
But you got to remember, at this point, there was no verification, 100 verification that she was deceased. 2. Okay. This is right prior to him going to jail. I mean, in a matter of 30 minutes. This is just right prior to him being arrested that this happens. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just would never want that to happen to me. And that's why I could go out there and take my time. I couldn't even imagine it, man. Poor guy.
Well, let me ask you this. Why was the boy out there to begin with?
He lived there.
Oh.
The woods were adjacent to his house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So even when I went into the woods, I knew there's a possibility that there's an armed killer floating around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had I knew what I was going into. I knew the dude lived there. I've seen his pictures. I've seen him with guns. I kind of see how he carries himself. And I was thinking, I don't want to run into this guy. And I hadn't even asked people. I said, is he going to be part of the search? You know, because you would think if you didn't do it, you would be there, right?
Right.
But if you ain't there, maybe you did.
You mean he unalived her that close to his house?
Well, no, he lived there. They found stuff there, but he dumped her a county over, but he had her in a vehicle. So there's still some details. Look, that I'm not even 100 on. So I'm sure I'm going to talk to the family some more, and I'm sure they'll fill me in on some of the actual facts, because it was like kind of a, I don't know, smoke and mirror game with the police. They had shit blocked off this, but they were doing something over here. But Jim had knew something like that anyway, because he told me. He said there's another search location that the police are getting warrants and they're serving today while we were in the woods. He told me this. So when they had that area blocked off, I didn't. Yeah, yeah. And so quickly the community seen it on the news and showed up. You know, it. At least they got some answers. I know it ain't the answers that they wanted, but they were going to eventually get this answer. It's better it comes sooner than later. So,
Right. Well, yeah, because as long as a person is missing, that's just torture.
yeah, on the family. Now, I mean,
Right.
it's still bad. It was no way it was ending good.
No, exactly.
But the good thing is it's ending, and he's going to prison, and this will be the start of, you know, right now, a long ass. The family's just really getting into it, because now they got to go through the trial. They got to go through the evidence. They got to hear what he did to their daughter and things like that.
But see, I couldn't do that. I could not do that. No way.
This the fight for the family, the bad hard times on the family are just starting, because now they got to go through this court process and see this fucking monster. You know.
See, that's what you said. I could not sit in the back row near him because I'd be over that counter. Right? Nope.
Yeah, because you know, when the dad seen him this last time, he thought he might have hurt his daughter. When the dad sees him this time, he knows he hurt his daughter.
Exactly.
You know, it's a big difference. So, but I think Jim will be able to keep us cool. He's a good dude. So I think I know what he would want to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think he'll do what he needs to do to make sure there's justice and he don't get himself in trouble.
Right. I'm a good person too, but if someone hurt my kid, I love my kid.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm a good person too. You hurt my fucking kid, and I'm going to show you how bad of a person I am.
Oh, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Come out
that is it. That is it right there. You take that good shit out the window right then. All that good deed, because I'm going to do something terrible. I'm going to.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to go to jail or anything like that, but when it comes to my kids, I'll do it. I don't care. Nope.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just in my backbone. It's the way I was raised, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, well, look. Well, I'm glad you got back. You got back safely.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm good. So be good. Till next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. Emotions high out there. You know, how could it not be? Good community of people, all the people. Thank you guys for everybody that was out there searching. Shannon, thank you for coming out. It was awesome meeting you, and to everybody else out there that I got to meet. It was nice meeting you guys, and thank you for taking the time out of y'all's busy days to go out and search for somebody. And I seen a bunch of younger cats out there, right? That was cool to see young people out there getting in the woods. They were out there. You know, young people, all of them had drones, right? That's the good thing about young searchers. Y'all are like the eyes in the sky, right? I mean, it's good to have people like this. Hey, sometimes your little nerds and your geeks, they're the best people to have around in times like this, because tech people, you know, it wasn't just, I was in the woods hearing drones droning around me. I was droning, people were and it was a bunch of young people out there with drones. That was good to see that these young people said, hey, this is another young person missing. Let me go out and help. Right. We need more people into things like that. Right. And when you do good things happen. I'm telling you, the more good things I do, it seems like the better my life is getting, easier things are getting for me. And just be a decent person goes a fucking long ways in this world. Look, guys, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, and I'll catch up with y'all later. I got some things I got to make because I'm a little behind on things. I got to make some candles tonight. So I might go live making them. I'm not for sure, but I got to make a few things. I got to print up some t-shirts. I'm a little behind on a couple of the orders, so I got to catch up because I've been out, gone doing my thing. I will be dropping a video tomorrow at 6, so make sure y'all watch that. It's on the girl that threw her baby in the trash can. And what else? Turtle Island, I know I had to put off because of the young lady that went missing. It will be back tomorrow, the next day, something like that. I'll fill you in, guys, when I know. So, Very Metal, Erica, thank you for being a member. Oh, you became a member. That's awesome. Thank you for joining up, guys. That's a good way to keep Dolly alive. And guys, for everybody that super chatted, thank you so much, because that really helped me because the hotel has hit my pocket. So thank you for everybody that was donating and helping support the cause. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to go help families like I do. So I appreciate it. Don't think I don't. I appreciate every bit of support y'all give me, from everybody that comes and tunes in, to everybody that likes the video, to everybody that donates, and to everybody that becomes a member. You guys are important. I love you, and I will see you guys later. Peace.